Now, two pigeons bemoaning the fact you can stream DirecTV satellite-free.
These humans can stream all the top-rated national news channels on DirecTV, and now with no satellite dish.
This just in. Weather, sports, election coverage. DirecTV has it all, but something is missing. The satellite dish.
What are you doing?
I'm reporting the news. Back to you, Bob.
Here's some news. You're a buffoon.
Stream the top-rated national news channels. No satellite dish. Visit DirecTV.com. Internet required. Top-rated news based on 2023 Nielsen ratings.
Bounce, bounce,
Ball.
pass.
Sports.
Pass, kick, pass. Dunk it.
What?
Funk it. Sure. Serve it. Here. Work it. Jocular. We're about to get jocular.
Welcome back to Jocular. I'm Katie Kershaw, she, her.
I'm Tien Tran, she, her.
You are Fight Master, they, them. Excuse my voice, I have nuts in my mouth. That happens to you so
Classic.
often. So there you are.
Classic. There you go. Gargling nuts.
Oh my God, I was going to say gargling too. Okay, well, we're the show where three best buds gossip about women's sports. And today, we are finally wrapping up our discussion because Harry is so tired of it on the 2024 WNBA Finals. And so excited.
Yes.
We are interviewing Paralympian Samantha Bosco.
We're going to first gold medalist on the pod.
Yeah, sorry to our other Olympian that was on the pod, but this is our first Paralympian
sorry.
and our first gold medalist.
That's okay.
No, but it is.
No, it's only, I think only Americans think that like gold isn't the only thing you can get.
Yeah, and I am proud to
be an
American.
At least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died. The men who died. Interesting. And I won't forget the them who died.
And that's where we would like to start today
Yes.
at TEDx Jocular.
Oh my God. Couldn't be more disappointed in our country, I just want to say.
Today's episode is about non-binary people in the military.
Could you imagine?
Would love.
It would be kind of hot, but it would be ultimately bad.
Yeah, but I also wonder why, I don't know if Harry's mad at us, that, and the results may shock you,
Yeah, that didn't make it into this.
is not here.
Okay, he's not listening right now, but can we say Harry's energy is weird today?
Yeah, because you know why? Harry is doing Locktober. When you get locked in.
Yeah. Not only about 10 more days of Locktober. Thank God.
And what is Locktober?
I saw this video of obviously scary men, and they're like, "It's October, let's get locked in. I'm gonna like get my hairline back and like get my muscles back and like find a girl. We are locked in. It's October."
Well, I wish I would have known.
Yeah. And
Oh my
Harry-
God.
I would have done that.
Well, and I'm going to cut this from the podcast, but when you said Locktober, for some reason, I thought you meant.
Why would you delete
Why do you
that?
need to delete
Don't
that?
delete that.
Don't
You
delete
don't
that.
want the audience to know
Yeah.
who you are.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put that at the end of the show.
It's
Right?
all
We have a
right.
gold medalist on today.
Yeah.
Let's-
Yeah, we kind of
Okay.
can't.
We
We're
gotta
gonna-
bring it back.
Sorry,
we kind
guys.
of can't do this right now.
What's going on in the group chat?
WNBA finals.
Holy fucking cow. That was the best finals I've ever seen across truly any sport.
Any sport.
I agree.
The opening play from the Lynx was so gorgeous. It
Gorgeous.
was ballet. I just like watched the ball, aka Tien, just wisp across the court
Mhm.
in such a beautiful way.
It was amazing to be a part of it.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
too.
you.
That
Yeah.
was not an easy gig.
No,
to
it's
get.
not an easy game to be the ball in.
No, but you were there.
I was there.
That I was paying attention to some of those statistics, but right before the game where they were like, there's none of these games have been bigger than like a 5 to 10 point differential the entire game,
So
Yeah.
cool.
which is nuts. Like that's nuts to go back and forth. This would have been a great series for 7.
I mean,
Which is why they're
truly.
it would have been an incredible series for 7, which I'm so glad they're gonna do it next year. But it's like, you missed the opportunity.
Yeah, the announcers last night were like, "Can we just make it to 7 right now?
I
Can we
know.
please? I want to keep
Pull up the
watching
calendar.
Well,
this
and-
fucking basketball."
And I'm really excited for New York. I was rooting for New York, and I would have been I would have been fine if anybody had won. But in New York getting their first championship,
Yeah.
that was fucking awesome. And you know, it's funny because I was thinking about how we were talking a couple episodes about who we wanted to win and how it feels like New York is a dynasty. But
The start
actually,
of one.
Lynx is the dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so even in my brain, I was like, oh, well, it'd be good if Lynx got it because they're, no. It was great that New York got it at home with first for the franchise. Teaspoon was there. That was awesome.
Sue
Like
Wicks
Liberty
was
royalty.
there.
Yeah.
Just absolutely beautiful.
Sue
I'm
Wicks
stoked
looking
about that.
wild.
But
Sue Wicks with a peacock necklace?
I think so.
bad bitch.
Bad bitch.
It was such a look. I also think it's so interesting that the game stayed so close with two teams that have such different playing style
Yeah.
and such different skills, but they are both at the top of the game and they just matched each other beautifully.
To
It
have
was crazy.
2 overtime in one series. The other argument for 7 here, the very clear argument is that I don't know who would have won if we got to game 7.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
either.
was such a low scoring final because people in Liberty couldn't make it, and B,
Some of the links couldn't either.
oh, I know, but the D was so intense.
It's so physical.
Uh-huh.
It's so incredibly physical. Then when you watch the MNBA, you're like, it is so different. They call every little thing, and these women were like hitting each other
Yeah, hard.
like
yeah.
hard. And honestly, some calls.
I mean, that was not a foul. The one at the end.
The one at the end was not a foul.
That's not a foul.
No, but there are plenty of fouls that were not called
Yeah.
on either side.
One-
And that,
And one
100%.
play,
That is not gonna make the
I do believe,
game.
that one play doesn't make the game.
I will say Stewie not being able to sink one and so switching back to just like game commander and defensive leader was awesome.
Yeah.
I do not think that you see that enough in men's sports, but just across the board is when somebody who's such an offensive killer just be like, well, I can't make it. I guess I'm going to be the best defensive player on the court.
Same with Sabrina.
Sabrina was
Yeah.
doing great.
She was 1 for
Absolutely.
19.
Yeah.
And their energy didn't drop. They weren't in their heads.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely crazy to see both of them just team up to become these, like, and of course they're leaders anyway, but it's easy to lead when you're sinking every basket. It's
Yeah.
much harder to be a leader when you can't be leading by example in the way that you normally do.
But speak of leading by example, I am so glad that Jonquel Jones got the MVP
Hell
because
yeah.
she absolutely deserved it.
So it was so
God,
deserved.
She's so good. She's so good. And I think like
Consistent.
I think the definite MVP of those finals for the Liberty, I feel like if the Lynx had won,
Collier.
But it was very cool to see Jonquel Jones. And I didn't know that she had lost 2 finals back to back playing for other teams. Did you know that? She lost in the 2023 and 2022. Now she's in New York.
Yep.
She won one.
She's the best. And it was like, there were like news outlets from the Bahamas there, and they were like, she is the pride of our country. And just to think about her journey, leaving home at 13, living with strangers. I mean,
Leaving home at 13 to come pursue your dream of doing women's basketball in the United States, a country that for so long has devalued and degraded all women's sports. First of all, it's a healthy reset for like remembering how fucking lucky we are.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like that is even more brave. That's more brave.
No,
It's not like
so
she's coming
brave.
over here to be a tech startup.
Uh-huh.
You know, like it just to really have faith that not only she could rise to the challenge, but that we as a culture would rise to the challenge in time.
I mean, being brave leaving the house when I was 13 was remembering to put a pad in my Vera Bradley.
You had a Vera Bradley at 13?
Every time you bring up the Vera Bradley, I am shocked. Where did you get it?
Yeah, where did you get it?
Okay,
And what
s-
kind was it?
So I think it was a hand-me-down of my sister's. And Vera Bradley was sold at a small store in Hazard. It was downtown.
They
It
also
was
sold candles, huh?
Yes, it was in the same building as Peking. But I can't remember it's defunct now, but it was, you went in and you like kind of picked your pattern. I just remember being in there mouth watering, like I need all of this quilted fabric.
Yeah, me,
It was
13.
definitely a hand-me-down.
Me, 13, being brave was remembering to tie my long sleeve shirt around my waist as part of my fashion where I already wore a long sleeve shirt.
Oh, I love that.
Do you remember that? My best friend and I did that. Tommy Hilfiger long sleeve shirt. Tommy Hilfiger shirt tied around
Echo jeans.
tied around my waist.
No, I
was
guess
brave.
me being brave would have been wearing anything other than sweatpants.
And that is brave.
And that is brave.
Say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly,
I want to see you in sweatpants.
and that's how it goes.
Maybe we should have been, I want to see you in gray sweatpants.
I want to see you in gray sweatpants.
We're constantly learning. We're constantly getting
Wow.
Better.
Also, broke records throughout. The finals broke records with attendance
Mhm.
in both places
Mhm.
and with viewership. God, it was great. Did you see Angel Reese wearing a
Unbelievable.
the bifurcated
the
jersey.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It looked
half
so
collar,
good.
half Stewie.
Yes. I was like, who made that?
That's smart though. I don't want any other players in the league weighing in on who they think they should win.
No, I love
It was
that.
perfect. And also, we've been giving a lot of praise to the Liberty. The Lynx team was insane.
They were Courtney Williams in her, as she said, Birkin bag. Do you remember that quote?
Mhm.
Yes.
And I only know about Birkin bags because of Sex in the City when Lucy Liu. Do you remember that episode?
Well, Samantha drops
dro-
Lucy Liu's name to be able to get a Birkin.
a Birkin bag.
Yeah.
But Courtney Williams. Did you ever watch Sex in the City?
I just recently saw a reel of this exact scene, and I'm just wondering why.
Because that's how
Because
the Matrix works.
yeah.
It is. It's they're watching us. Fuck
I
the
love-
FBI.
I love.
Well, let's not say that.
no, fuck the FBI.
I can't.
Fucking ball itchers.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Factory ball itchers.
Factory ball.
What
What about Sably?
Amazing.
Incredible. I didn't know she was the younger sister.
Oh, yeah. And that she had
Mhm.
averaged, what, like 14 minutes?
I know.
And like I think 4 points.
Yes.
Or it was like 2.4. It was some crazy got in, got out.
next season's gonna be sick.
It is, and I'm excited for the NCAA.
I know. And also, have either of you read about the Unrivaled League, the 3-on-3 league that Nafisa?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know that much about it, but maybe we should follow that too.
Yeah, let's do it.
100%. Especially because Stewie and Nafisa worked on it together.
Right? Okay,
Yeah.
and Angel's playing in it as well. I'm not I can't remember who else is in the league, but it's just like a bunch of cool people.
Yeah. It looks fun as hell.
Explain what it is.
So Unrivaled is, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, is to kind of have a league for players, WNBA, some of the WNBA players off season so that they don't have to go overseas to like continue their training or to get a salary. So Unrivaled is this league that was started by, or will be started by, Nafisa and Stewie, and it's a 3-on-3 basketball league.
3-on-3 is so fucking hard.
It's fast. It's crazy.
And we,
the
as a
conditioning is
country,
going to be incredible.
need to get better at it.
Yeah,
for
we
the
do.
Olympics.
That
we
is
do.
true.
We as a country need to be better.
We need to be better.
I
We
think
have
I'd be
3.
bad at 3-on-3. Okay, yeah. I think
I think we should start.
Wait. Why don't
Wait, should
we
we go?
sign up?
Should we sign up for Unrivaled?
I think
Okay,
so.
what are our positions?
Well, I'm a top.
Top. Okay, great.
Switch.
Awesome. I'll be bottom.
Yes!
And that's unrivaled.
And that's Unrivaled.
And with that, let's take a quick break. And we'll be back with Samantha Bosco.
About to get jocular.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
It feels like you can get your credit scores anywhere these days. Random websites, card statements, budgeting apps, heck, even your dog might bark out a few numbers. It's true. Credit Karma isn't the only place you can find them. But we actually do more with your scores to help you find your next financial opportunity. Like a more rewarding credit card, a game plan that helps you pay down debt faster, or a personal loan to help you save more on interest payments each month. Cha-ching! The possibilities are kinda endless. Download Intuit Credit Karma today to get started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I think I've told this story on here before, but I did announcements in high school, and the people I did announcements with were like, I'm not doing it. I'm not saying under God. That's bullshit. But I wanted the stage time, and I was like, I don't agree with it, but I'll say it.
Awesome.
And I was like, I'll fall on this sword since none of you want to do it. And then I was like, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
And look at them now. Nowhere.
Actually,
and look at you.
They're
saying
doing
the
both.
Pledge of Allegiance.
They're both like small business owners. They're doing very well.
Katie, cut that out, Harry.
Yeah, cut that yeah. Now, we're opening this segment with the Pledge of Allegiance because we have an American Paralympian, Samantha Bosco, here with us in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Gold medal
winning.
Are you different now?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I didn't think I could fit through the door with the ego I currently have.
If I had a gold medal, I think I'd be weird to people.
I think I would be too.
I would wear it all the time.
Yeah.
I did bring it.
Okay, wait. Oh my
Excellent.
gosh, that's incredible. It's in the room with us now.
I'm like feeling the buzz from it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I guess I have a question for you, and it's going to come off a little bit rude. Where the fuck is your helmet? Those helmets are so wild.
Yes.
Yes. And I wore a new one that looks even more ridiculous when you're not riding a bike. So every time I was walking around, I try to keep my head forward so that it didn't look as silly.
Unbelievable.
That's insane. Well, I guess we should. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, your pronouns.
But I'm Samantha Bosco, and I'm she, her, and I'm a Paralympic cyclist, and I've been with Team USA for over a decade now, but now I feel old saying it. So
wow, that's awesome.
No,
I think we are the same age.
We are the same age.
Yes.
Perfect.
Tell us a little bit about your how'd you get started in cycling?
Oh gosh, I started riding my bike around 6 years old because my dad and I rode to and from school, which I recently found out was 6 miles one way. So kudos to little Sam.
Hell yeah.
No.
Yeah, but we ended up loving it so much that we got mountain bikes, started racing and riding with Arctic Bicycle Club, which was about a mile from where we lived at the time in Alaska at Kincaid Park, and loved every second of it. Minus the moose on the trail that you had to wait for.
Stop. I mean, also the fact that you are the most interesting person I've ever met. Born in Alaska, biked that much as a child, and you're a gold medalist. This is awesome.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
Really,
Thank you.
It's really
Because there's 5 people born in Alaska annually. Is that right?
Oh, I have no idea. That might be high.
How did you did you try a bunch of different events before you what is the cycling process like? Did you mountain bike? How did you choose which event was this is mine?
Oh man, I think it was just cycling in general because we started with mountain biking right when we were starting to transition to mountain bike and road is when I had surgery to lengthen my leg and spent 3 years on crutches and then took up rowing afterwards because I didn't think I could ride a bike again. And rowing was a form of physical therapy for me. And I fell in love with that sport, which oddly enough was the second most grueling sport I've ever done. And it is the only sport that originated as a form of capital punishment. We had shirts made in college.
Oh,
wait, are you
I did
serious?
not
I did
know
not
that.
know that.
Please fact check me because I say it and I'm not sure if it's actually true.
No, it's true now.
No, I think it's
true.
rowing and beer pong. Those are the two.
Yes.
Well, difficult, but yeah.
And then when I couldn't row anymore in college because of the knee pain, I kind of spiraled a little bit because I've always identified as an athlete, and my dad got me back on a road bike. And then I started racing again because I am so competitive. We don't play board games in my house. And found out about para in 2012. We were watching the women's Olympic road race, and my friend joked and said, you could be there. At least I thought he was joking, because I turned around and was like, I have a leg and a half on a good day. How do you expect me to be there? And he said, there's Paralympics. And that was the opening of the door.
That's really cool.
That's amazing. So once you start going through the surgery you mentioned, you were just off a bike, or would you do it occasionally, or that moment where you're like, no, I'm going to rowing?
Oh, no, I was completely off a bike. It was supposed to be 3 months because the doctors go in and surgically break your leg. And then there's basically rods attached to the top and bottom of the leg. And you basically pull it apart.
Wow.
Little bits at a time so that it can lengthen, because your bone grows back together. And it didn't go quite as planned. And I ended up spending the 3 years on crutches, had a dozen surgeries, had a Lizaroff brace put on at one point, and tried to bring my foot up. Found out my growth plate was accidentally scraped. I have nerve damage.
Oh my gosh.
From my knee down. And my right leg is still an inch shorter because I had to have my left leg surgically done because of the growth plate getting scraped. And my right leg is muscularly weaker than my left.
Gotcha.
So I took up rowing actually because I had big shoulders from being on crutches for 3 years. And my mom didn't quite know that it was a full body sport, or as full of a body sport as it is.
It really is.
Yeah. And I have a little bit of movement in my ankle still. It's kind of mostly bone on bone, but I have a few degrees of flexion. And so rowing was a form of physical therapy, because on the ergs, I could adjust for the leg length discrepancy. So I could just push off, and that would keep the movement in my ankle. And I just fell in love with that too. So
yeah.
What's the strongest part of your body?
My heart.
Okay.
That's nice.
That's beautifully said.
When we're lucky enough to get athletes in here, I ask them kind of perverted questions about like how much they can lift and stuff like that.
Perfect.
I do.
We're
like
going to
that.
get along very well.
So if you ever, want to tell me, you can. This is a safe space. We'd love to hear about your squatting.
Over 200 actually, but I can't squat all the way down because I don't have forward plane of motion in my right leg because of how my ankle is fused. So I actually have to do it very interesting with a wedge under my right foot and my left leg on a plate to raise it up a little bit and actually squat to a certain degree knee bend. So I can't squat all the way down. So I can't pistol squat or anything like that, but I can squat now. Finally, I got to figure it out.
But also, I love that
you're like, 200 pounds.
Yeah, please.
I'm over competitive, so that's not strong enough for me because my husband can do way more, and I'm jealous of it. So,
because he's also a rider. Yes, cyclist.
Yeah.
Rider.
We met at a bike race in Wisconsin actually when I started paracycling. And he's the reason I came out to California. But he started BMX racing the year that I got hurt in 21, and went from a road cyclist to a mountain bike or to BMX, which is completely different structure. It's kind of like marathon runner versus track and field sprinters. Oof. So he can squat and deadlift a lot more than I can, and I'm not happy about it. I mean, I'm happy about it because. Let's face it, I like muscle, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, if my partner beat me at anything, I would have to go to therapy.
Yeah, I kind of don't play tennis with my wife because she beats me all the time.
Wait, what was that?
My wife.
We
it's
have
a pod rule.
We have a rule.
Yes.
This is a really specific question, maybe, but like. There's always this mental jump of, okay, so you hear about the Paralympics and then you're like, fuck, I'm going to do this. What was the first phone call you made? Like, how did you actually start the process? Do you remember?
No, I mean, I started paracycling in 2013, not with the idea of going to any Paralympic Games because I didn't really truly understand any of that level. I just wanted to race my bike and I thought it was cool that I got to race people with similarities because I race able body too. But then I got to travel.
Mhm.
And that was fun.
Oh,
And
cool.
wearing red, white, and blue was fun. So for me, it was just getting to race because I just love racing. And then 2015, I think it started to become real because it was like, oh, next year is 2016. It's the games. And you have a year out, 100 days out, and all of the things. And it just was the natural next thing. Like everybody just knew that's what we were going for.
Is it just like there are certain races that you have to enter into?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
So, then
so we-
for Team USA to.
Yeah, so I got to go on my first Team USA trip because I went to a selection race, which was actually my first paracycling race. And I only went because I was like, I don't know if I even qualify as paracyclist because each parasport has different classifications and each classification has different requirements, for lack of a better word, of what classifies you in that category. So I didn't even know if I would or not. And then I did, and I got invited to Spain. And then that was just like, whoa, okay, I can do this. I want to do all of it.
That's awesome.
But for game specific, we have a couple years before the games, we have to work to get start right allocations, meaning the size of the team that's determined for the games.
Okay.
And for Rio, we got 7 start rights for the women's team. So then once you get the start rights, there's a process to basically get selected to that team. And in Rio, or for Rio, it was, if I remember correctly, a track spot. So you could get one at Track World Championships, maybe one road spot, and then all the rest were made at trials.
Okay.
And I got it at trials, and it was just like amazing feeling. My parents were there, and my aunt and my cousin were there. Like, it was just really cool to have that experience. But I also had to peak for that because I had to make the team. So I was more fit for trials than I was for the games, which was kind of a little bit of a bummer, but I still did well at the games. But it wasn't until I was training for Rio with my husband, Andrew, that I realized that I got to fulfill the little girl's dream of being a professional cyclist, because that was the first dream I ever remember having.
Oh,
and so
you
for
did
me,
it!
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
And so for me, Rio was extraordinary because of that. And then Paris was kind of similar, but we had a little bit of an easier selection process because we had track world championships, and then we had basically ranking lists from 2 of the World Cup races and trials. So we had multiple races where you can make the list to make the team.
Yeah. What is your mindset like going into Rio versus Paris?
Gosh, I think Rio was just excited to get to go.
Yeah.
Because I didn't truly understand what the Paralympics was and what it meant.
Yeah.
And so that was just pure excitement for getting to do something that big. Paris was excitement, but there was also a little bit of anticipation because I was supposed to go to Tokyo and I couldn't go to Tokyo. So Paris was true excitement, but at the same time, there was nerves and anxiety because I didn't want to get hurt beforehand like I did in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that going into it. So much so I didn't even realize until after the time trial where I felt like I could finally take a full breath and just chill.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So like, what can you tell some of our listeners like what that was like for you from going from Tokyo to Paris? Like that mental health journey of like, did you have a team with you? Like, how did you kind of bounce back from something like that and then also win gold?
Yeah. So,
yeah. Oh, and
by the way,
win gold.
Win gold.
Which is here in the room with
Which is
us.
here in the room with us now.
Tokyo was really hard because I was really excited. I was the fastest female qualifier at trials for Tokyo. I got nominated for an SB for best female with a disability. So I was on cloud whatever through the roof. And then I got hurt on a training ride, fractured my skull in 2 spots, had a traumatic brain injury, and just crumbled. So I had a lot of people literally pick me up and help me back to the place I could be. And I didn't know if I wanted to keep racing or riding a bike. At the time in the hospital, I think I said that I never wanted to ride a bike again. And then the next day I was asking if that meant I didn't get to go to Tokyo. So
I think I
Okay,
would
she was
always ride a bike.
processing.
Yeah.
You were.
yeah. But there was one point after finding out that I wasn't going to get to go to Tokyo where it was just like, I wanted to focus on Paris, but at the same time, wasn't sure if I wanted to race my bike, wasn't sure if I could mentally handle it. And Andrew was actually the one who encouraged me to do one race because he said he didn't want me to wonder what if. If I walked away from the sport, he would be supportive. If I wanted to keep doing it, he would be supportive. But he didn't want me to not do it and always have that wonder. So I went to a paracycling race, and the first race was a time trial, and I was in the start house, and I actually remember being asked by somebody how I was feeling, which wasn't the best timing considering I was about to start a race.
Yeah.
Who is this person?
Yeah.
I will not name names.
Hey,
How are you?
Hey.
Off record.
Hey, girl, I heard you took a tumble.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's basically
You
what
ready
it
to
was.
get
How
back
you
up there
doing?
again?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, cool, thanks. I'm gonna go now. And so like, I don't know that I fully processed that I was in that race until about a minute and a half into the race. But I knew before halfway through that I loved it and I wanted to keep doing it. And this was where I was meant to be. And then I finished the race and I turned right to go to the parking lot where we were all parked. And I stopped on the sidewalk and I laid my bike down and I just bawled.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, I can still feel it, and I can still remember feeling somebody running behind me and then coming around to give me a hug, and it was Andrew, like hugging and crying
Okay,
with
husband
me.
of the pod.
what
Okay.
is-
He is a husband of the pod.
Husband of the pod.
It's decreed. What is his sign?
He's a Scorpio,
Oh my God. What's your sign?
Aquarius.
Oh my God.
Okay, my partner also a Scorpio.
Oh, I
birthday
like
coming
it.
up.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Romantic man.
So what was that Paris gold medal winning experience like?
Oh, everything. I still can't put it all into words because it's taken on additional meanings throughout the whole time. But winning that time trial just was instant joy and instant relief together.
Oh.
And I just started bawling, and I'm not a cute crier. Let's just face it. They have photos of like all of the other winners, like arms up, flags behind them, and here I am bawling red face, trying to go hug my Swanee at the time. Like, it's a great photo, but also a terrible photo. But
I think if you win a gold medal, you can look however the fuck you want.
oh,
Yeah.
I
You
looked at all of
know?
them. I looked at all of them.
Good,
But
good.
I had fun with it because it was just like it meant something more than just a gold medal and just being first in the world. It meant all of the hardship, all of the journey was worth it, I guess. I mean, it was still worth it regardless. But let's be real. I would have been truly devastated if I did not win the time trial because that was what I was going for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
it was just something that I can look at that can bring back all of the feelings of all of the highs and all of the lows and truly like feel light from dark. And for me, when I got hurt, I couldn't watch any of the Olympics. I couldn't watch any of the Paralympics, summer and winter. And there's this art form that they do in Japan where if something's broken, they literally put it back together and they put pieces or like gold through it, which makes the pottery more beautiful. And that was one of the things that I focused on to help get better because it was like, I'm putting the pieces back together and it's going to be more beautiful. And I feel like a better person because of what happened. And I don't know that I do know that I never would have got to the person I am today had that not happened. So for me, like the gold medal is literally the gold pieces that put me back together. And so like being on the podium, it was my mom and brother helping me every day for a month after I got hurt. My husband coming home and helping me when I can't stop crying hysterically. My dog cuddling next to me and trying to go after people if he thinks they're getting too close because I'm hurt. My family sending pictures of the kids to make me smile, coming over to take me to ice cream, take me to the beach and go to the surprise painting class. Like all of those things are that medal because I wasn't just by myself. And then I bring the medal places like this and everybody gets to see it. And like, I feel like I touched somebody's life in some way, even if it's just that they got to see a medal and touch it. So for me, seeing the medal is like, I'm touching people's lives and making them inspired to do something or just smile because they got to see something truly incredible.
How?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
I mean, I want to watch that movie. I want to read that memoir. I mean,
you said
I am working on that.
Yes, good.
Okay,
Who
would you want to cast?
Oh no, I don't know about a movie, but I was going to do the memoir first and then have the memoir turned into a movie.
Yeah, but if you were to have a movie, who would you want?
And who plays your husband?
Who plays your husband? And who plays you? Who plays your dog? Me.
I love it.
Who plays the helmet? Me.
Who plays the bike?
ER.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, you can think on that.
I like Jennifer Aniston because I think she's
Yes!
amazing actress. So, like, and she's beautiful. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she could do me more justice on myself sometimes.
I see it.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
That's perfect.
Oh, but my husband, I don't know, man. Oh, that's a rough one.
You could do kind of whatever you want.
You really can do whatever you
Yes, I
want.
know.
It's your, it's your
It's
time.
your
It could be
story.
fucking Shaquille O'Neal.
Please cast Shaquille
Please,
O'Neal.
because I would love to see him on a bike.
Right. Could you imagine? Oh.
So thank you for writing a memoir, but are you thinking that LA could be in your future?
absolutely.
Yeah.
LA was in my future when it became a host, one of the cities for a bid for 2024.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And then when we found out that it was 2028, I looked at Andrew and I was like, can I go 4 more years? And he was like, duh.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so that's what you're.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's fun to have you in here because I think that across all sports, when people, like, when they don't win the thing, they're like, it just is so, fucking awesome. I got to be there and blah, 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 blah. But when you get a gold medalist in here, it's so funny to hear someone say, like, it would have sucked if I had not won that.
It definitely would have, yes. And like it would have been even harder too because like when I came back in 2022, I won every paracycling road race and time trial that year.
Holy shit!
And I was a world champion like just over a year after being hurt to the day.
So it would have been weirder if you hadn't won.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd won
Everything.
up until that point. I'd won every time trial paracycling that I had done since I got hurt.
Are there cyclists now coming up that you've like got your eye on, worried about?
Or are excited about? Is there like sort of like
Okay, yeah, excited about. In my mind, I'm like,
Yeah.
who are you gonna beat?
Yes, yes. But
There's always a little bit of worry because
Yeah.
there's always wanting to keep doing the sport. Like I love the people I've met and the friends I've made and the places I've gotten to go because of the sport. So yeah, anytime there's somebody new, it's always a little bit of like, oh, like a little bit of, is she going to take that away from me?
Yeah, we can be friends later, but right now it's sussing.
But I think
people
that's
out.
human nature too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I don't want to stop racing my bike and I don't want to keep having these experiences and I don't want somebody to threaten that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I feel threatened, I'm just going to work harder because I don't want people to beat me. I only want to beat myself. Like I want to be better today than I was yesterday. And I want to be better tomorrow than I was today. Like I always am striving probably
love
too
this.
much to
I do
try
too.
to work harder. But at the same time, I love when there's women on the group rides and I love that when there's women's racing and the fields are big. So like as scary as it is to have somebody new come on and you're like, ooh, I don't know, like, is she going to be better than me? There is a little bit of like, I hope she is and I want to be stronger to be better than her. And then we can lift each other up because I think like multiple people from the same team can be on the podium.
that's so
You
cool.
want
I
the
feel like-
whole podium to be us.
A sweep would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it a
See, that's the
possibility
type
for
of-
LA?
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
yeah.
we'll be there.
Yes.
I think that's just such like a gracious competitiveness.
Uh-huh.
I love
Yes,
that
yeah.
so much. And like when you're what is the camaraderie like with like international folks? Like what is that like? Do you see the same people? Do you have a rivalry?
Yeah.
You know, like what is that like when you're on?
I had coffee with my rival in Switzerland.
Okay,
so-
this is
cool.
this is fantastic.
Well, you're the only two who understand being at the very top.
Yeah. I think like you make friends and there's a community where like we do good, and I'm proud of the people that get on the podium too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was super proud of my podium mates from the time trial. We hugged, we joked, we had a good time.
Yeah.
But there's also the understanding that when we're in a bike race, it's whoever crosses the line first. And I think that I like that aspect of it because it's like, yes, we can be competitive, but at the same time, we can also be friends, have coffee, hang out, text each other between. Like I traded gear, Paralympic gear with a friend of mine from Canada who's been my friend
Nice.
for years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that announcing is in your future?
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be really fun to announce. And I think when people watch para sports, they don't know enough about it. And there's not enough knowledge in commentators to know all of the nuances, especially about para sport, that I think para athletes, whether they're retired or not, would make hugely great commentators because of that knowledge base.
What are some things, and this is a complicated question, and I'm sorry for the lack of time you have to do this, but what are some things you wish the audience knew about parasports? Like just some things off the top of your head.
Oh, like paracycling. And first off, people don't know what makes each category.
Mm-hmm.
So they see a group of people, like our road race, we're combined in the road race for the games because there's not enough medals to go around. So at Worlds, each category has its own medals, but at the games, they have to be combined for certain events because there's not enough medals to go around. So for our road race, the women's C5 and the women's C4 race together. So I was 4th overall, but I was the first C4. So if it was Worlds, I would have won a world championship, even if I was 4th overall.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But at the games, that's not the same. So we wear different color helmets. And I don't think people even know that because the helmets signify what category you are. So I wear a white helmet because I'm a C4, but if I was a C5, I'd wear a red helmet. That's the difference there. The difference is in the impairments they have, because for us, upright bikes are classed from a C5 to a C1, C5s being most functional. So they could be missing opposable thumbs or missing part of their arm. C4s could be missing lower limbs, could have a traumatic brain injury that has permanent damage that impairs their ability to ride a bike, things like that doesn't get talked about enough in between all of the commentating of the actual race. Because I think that stuff is fascinating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
like
yeah.
watching different sports is amazing. Like wheelchair rugby alone.
Yes.
Come
It was
on. They're
awesome.
It's
literally
awesome.
going after each other.
Yeah.
And wheelchair basketball, they're strapped in too. So like
Yeah.
they can fall and get knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to watch.
It is.
That's
Yeah.
really
It is.
cool stuff.
It does feel like the audience for Paralympics is growing, and I hope
Yeah.
it continues
Same.
continues to grow.
Does language around disability change depending on what country you're in? I mean, obviously, of course, other than the language itself changing, like talking there, I know there are some Canadians that prefer differently abled, and then we have the disability community here. And so I'm wondering, across your experience, how much that is different.
Good question. I don't know that I've paid attention to that because I feel like we don't ever talk about things like that. Like it's just a thing. Like we're just who we are. Sometimes when you find somebody new in the sport, you're like, hey, what's your story? But you don't say, how did you get hurt? Or what's your disability? Like you have a few people who just like are true jerks.
Yeah.
Like I had somebody once look me up and down and count out my limbs out loud.
No.
And then ask what was wrong with me. And I was like, okay, that's weird.
Name names. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna find
We're gonna
them.
find them.
Yeah, but like you have, and like that with able body too, because I've gone on the plane and tried to get on early when my ankle's really sore, and I've had people be like, "You're not disabled," so it's across the board. But in general, like you don't even say disability. You don't think stuff like that, and so I think yes, it changes. Like Canadians like differently abled. I don't like saying
Yeah.
disability. I don't like saying I am disabled because I'm not disabled. I have a disability. So I think the way that it's said also changes the mindset, because I also think that while it's gotten better, society as a whole sees disability as disability, not that person has a disability or has something wrong with them. And let's face it, we all have something wrong with us.
Yes.
Preach.
I like a lot of my favorite like disability feminist authors will say you are not born with a disability, but you will certainly die with one.
Yeah.
That we are we will
Absolutely,
all
yeah.
experience disability in our lifetime.
Absolutely. When we all experience adversity, I mean, how many people grew up not wanting to do their homework?
Yeah.
You know, but I also think that we're too scared to ask questions. We're too scared to look dumb. Like I've had people just stare at my leg. And it's like, just ask me what happened. But little kids do it so perfectly because they're just like, what's wrong? Even if they say what's wrong, like, yeah, it might not be the best way to say it, but at least they've asked the question versus like, oh, look, did you see her leg?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, very true.
That's really, really cool. Do you coach?
No.
Are you gonna?
Maybe.
You've got a great.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. I keep asking you if you're like gonna become an announcer, if you're gonna coach, because I do think that you have that. There's like something really kind of special about you. You can tell how like you're calm, but you're determined. You got a little sparkle.
Yeah, I want to get out of here and do something.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you've got all that, but you're also in your prime, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see
Thank you.
worlds and following you through all of those and into LA.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come here and share your story
Truly,
with us.
truly enjoy.
Well, should we ask it? Can we see her?
Yeah, show us your baby.
Oh my God, it was in there the whole time?
I knew it was in the fanny. I knew it was in the fanny pack.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait.
Her name is Vivi.
Hi.
Okay,
Hi,
Vivi.
Vivi.
Hi, Vivi.
She's short for voler vite, which I think I'm saying correctly. It's French for fly fast. It could be voler vite. I'm not sure if the R is actually silent or not, but I feel like every French word has been different. So the R is silent.
The V is probably silent.
Yeah.
It probably is.
May I?
No.
Okay.
Just
I don't want
just-
my hand.
Hey guys.
She slaps your hands.
Wow.
I almost dropped it immediately. It's so heavy.
Yes. 529 grams.
In a
thought you were
little
gonna say
Louis
pounds.
Vuitton pouch.
Oh, and
It's just
this
a little
is-
pouch because we got a big case. It's about the size of a piece of paper because they actually have paper in it that even includes the authenticity for the piece of the Eiffel Tower in the middle. But it also has a paper that like describes the whole creation of the medal, which is really cool. But it's a big case that I feel like I'm carrying a textbook around when I carry it in the case.
Is there a black market for these?
Oh gosh, I hope not.
This is a weapon.
It is very much
It's
a
beautiful
weapon.
on the
Yes.
back. You don't.
Yes.
I've never seen the back of one.
Yes, yes, and they're different
this is so
than the Olympic
beautiful.
counterparts.
Oh, okay.
Because those show the Eiffel Tower as if you were looking up from underneath.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
This is amazing.
And they're all different each games because
You have medals from Rio?
I do. I have 2 bronze medals from Rio, and I
Yeah.
thought they were broken when I first got them because
Stop.
they had pieces in them so that when you shook it, it made a different pitch based off the color so that the visually impaired athletes can know what color they're
Oh my
holding.
gosh, that's
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So when I got on the stand and it moved around, I was like, oh no, it's broken.
You're like,
Let's
it's
get a new
broken.
one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Eventually
Thank you.
it will be framed on the wall. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I'm sure you have so many awards.
yes.
That you need
Do you
an
have
awards
like an award
room.
room? Yeah. You do have an award room. Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
no, actually,
I'm gonna call Andrew and get him to make one.
Yeah, right. Actually, to his credit, here we go again. Oh, dang it.
You like the guy.
I do like the guy. Whenever
Yeah.
I say he is the better half, I truly mean he is the better half because he puts up with a lot of stuff for me too.
Does he have a gold medal though?
He has a gold medal in being a husband.
Oh,
But he
okay.
also, thank you. But he also has a 7-foot trophy
Oh my God.
Wait.
that he won at a BMX race at BMX Grands
Okay,
in
cool.
Tulsa
That's
at
pretty
the end of the
freaking
year. So like
sick.
Wow.
it's their national championship basically.
Uh-huh.
And he won the first year back. He won and he got this trophy that's like 7 feet. And then he went the next year and got another one. And I'm super proud of him because he broke his femur that year.
Oh my
Yeah. So to have him go back and get it was amazing. And I was really kind of upset that I wasn't there because I was at Parapan, which it was really funny because he raced the same day that I raced the 3K and I qualified for the gold medal round. And we had talked in between, but I didn't get to see his finals. Like I'm trying to watch his races as I'm warming up. And I watched that he won, and then I go and I win. And it was kind of unexpected because I qualified second. But I dropped like 5 seconds from qualification to finals, which is really difficult to do on the velodrome. I actually PR'd my 3K that day. And so we're on the phone and he FaceTimes me and I'm just excited because I already knew he won. And he's just like, you could tell he's so excited. And then he's like, well, how'd you do? And like, it was so loud there that I just put up 1. And he was like, no way. And so he got all excited. And I was like, and I PR'd. And so he was really excited too. But as he said goodbye, you could hear, I tried to tell my wife I won, but then she had to go and one-up me and PR and win hers. So he has his trophies in the house too. But
you all are made for each other.
Yes.
We absolutely were. But I used to put my medals away. Like most people, they say they put their medals in a sock drawer. But like,
that's
you
where
find
mine
a spot and you just put them away.
Yeah.
And he finally got me to put them on the walls.
Good deal.
We'll probably put
job.
this on the wall. I think I want to get one of the jerseys and have everybody who was part of the journey sign it and put that and then put the medal in front of it.
You gotta have a room for this.
I'm working on it. I gotta buy a house with a room for it.
Okay, fair. This has been amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just
Thank you so much.
so awesome we got to meet you and so excited to follow you in every part of this.
I expect to be back here yearly for check-ins.
Yeah.
Look how I did.
And I guess
invited myself. See,
yeah,
I
I'm
guess-
one step closer to asking if I could be a host. But
Yeah.
Hey, next time the Para Games come around,
Are
if
you kidding me?
If you're not whatever sport you're not competing in, you will come in and talk to us about
Yeah,
it.
too
Yes,
bad you'll be
please.
winning gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess we should end the podcast the same way that we always do when we have a Paralympian here. And I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the them who died and gave that right to me. And I'll proudly stand up.
No.
And
That's jocular.
And that's how you set a boundary. And that's how you set a boundary. Absolutely.
I told you no singing.
We couldn't even get the next to you.
No.
Thank you so much for being here. You're
Thank
awesome.
you.
About to get jocular.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Meaningless stuff. Why do we gift so much meaningless stuff? Tired of generic gifts and hollow trends? Shutterfly allows you to create meaningful photo gifts for your family and friends. Whether it's a cozy fleece blanket for grandma, a stunning canvas print for mom, or a mug to make dad smile. Enjoy 40% off with code MAKE40 at Shutterfly.com and make something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
Okay, and welcome back. It's time for Mailbag.
Mailbag, getting letters from our fans and fians.
And fians. And fians.
Friends and friends.
Friends and fans. Fans that are friends. Friends.
Wow.
Okay, here's our first letter. Would you like, Tian, you seem ready. You want to take it?
Okay. Oh, God. Well, here we go.
What?
I'm going to do Scottish. Here we
Oh,
go. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, boy.
Oh. I really... Great. Hello to my favorite pod. My name is Maddie, she, her, and I'm a huge fan of women's basketball. I was a player a long time ago, and now I'm a high school coach and a fan of college and the WNBA. Side note, before my question, one of the first times I questioned my sexuality was when I saw ER in the show Shrill, and ever since, I've been proudly pansexual. So keep being hot, AR.
Thanks, babe.
My question for y'all. If you were drafted into the WNBA, what team would you want to go to? Thinking about the city you would have to then...
What?
Thinking about the city you would have to then live in and the team you'd be joining, which would be your top 5 cities you'd want to live and play for, and the 5 cities that you would not want to live in and play for. I asked this question because I was listening to a recent episode and laughed out loud when Tien was talking about how much she can't stand Las Vegas. Still true. And I feel the same way. But as we know, the Las Vegas Aces are an awesome team. So would it be worth it to live in Vegas to be on the Aces? Thanks for all your hilarious episodes that get me through the week. Love, Maddie.
That was great.
The way that you leaned back with your hands like this and then kind of looked at either one of us.
I cannot.
Is that good?
Let me say something. I'm always so proud of the swings you take.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of those compliments you get from a friend after a show when they've like seen you perform and they were like, "You had so much fun up there."
Fuck off.
No.
Mm-mm.
Again, it's like when a coworker said to me, "You got your hair cut. Do you like it?"
Yeah,
Hell.
Just
Fuck, do you like it?
Do you like
Do you
it?
like it before I say
You
it?
got your haircut. What had you wanted?
Or like when Emilio looked at you and goes, "Oh, I like your haircut. Is much better."
Oh, man.
Who did that?
A very Dutch person who's lovely.
I remember when I got my haircut, like I had really long hair. I was like 22, living in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got it cut in a bob. And first of all, it was so hot. Like this bob was so hot. I swept up the gay community in Amsterdam.
It looked
I
good.
don't doubt that.
And when I came to work that day, the men that I worked with, literally, not exaggerating, one of them went, "No! Why? Why?" And then the other 2 straight men were like truly devastated, and they were like, "Don't worry, it'll grow back." And that was like my first understanding that when you cut your hair, men are like, you don't know how much men think that your existence is for them until you cut
Until
your
you
hair.
cut your hair.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maddie,
Good thing I'm keeping on to these long locks.
your husband loves them. That's what matters.
I know.
That's
I love
right.
my husband.
Okay, I actually asked almost this exact question to my girlfriend last night.
Oh, really? Okay.
I
like this question a lot, by the way, Maddie. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, a part of me, even though I don't want to live in Minnesota, I really want to be on the Lynx. So
I would have thought you would have said like the Dream or something.
well, no, that's it. It's top 5. So I would then go to Atlanta
Okay.
after that. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Then Liberty. I love New York.
New York is cool.
Sparks. Seattle.
Wow. Do the new teams that are coming in count?
Well, I think Valkyrie's going to be here next year.
Yeah,
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop. I think I can do this quickly.
Yeah, go.
I would do Toronto, New York, San Fran, Seattle, LA.
Gorgeous.
That's
Well, and-
gorgeous.
and LA is even a hard one because I think that you would solely be here for the city.
Yeah. And it'd be so expensive to live in this city.
Yeah.
It really would. I think I would be Seattle, Toronto. I love Chicago. Sorry. Chicago's up there for me.
Yeah.
Chicago, New York, and LA. Those are my 5.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Where would you not want to be?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Or
Indiana.
Or Phoenix. Oh
Or
my
Phoenix.
God. Or Indiana.
That's where
Oh,
your money is going to
Lord.
go furthest.
Yeah,
so.
no.
Yeah, to
That's
doing
true.
fucking what?
I mean,
you going to the Indy 500?
Yeah.
I would
Eating
also
at TGI Fridays?
Love it.
I do love TGI Fridays. God.
I was more of an Applebee's gal myself. But
when I go home for Christmas, I'm going to be stationed up at the Bees.
At the Bees? The Bees is so good.
Yeah.
God.
Maybe
Appetizer sampler for the
Tuesdays?
table.
God damn it. Okay, maybe Indiana wouldn't be so bad.
Indiana would
Yeah,
not be
yeah,
as
but-
bad.
No.
It would be like we were on Torco all the
It
time.
would be Indiana's got the best Outback steakhouses in the country.
Yeah, you guys know I got fucking like hate crimed in Indiana.
Oh,
so I
that's
do
right.
think
That's right.
it'd be harder there.
Yeah.
It would be harder there.
I don't think that any of us would actually fare well there as unhideably gay as we are.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
I think that's it. Thanks for listening
to Jocular.
Jocular is hosted by ER Fightmaster Tien Tran and Katie Kershaw. Jocular is a production of Hyperobject Industries with Meadowlark Media and was produced by Harry Nelson. Original music and theme are by Nick Gage and ER Fightmaster. Our executive producers are Claire Slaughter, Harry Nelson, Dan Libetard, and Adam McKay.
Well, and I'm going to cut this from the podcast, but when you said Locktober, for some reason I thought you meant kind of like No Nut November, except you lock your dick in one of those cock cages.
Why do you need to delete
Don't
that?
delete that.
You don't want the audience to know who you are.
No. Your nuts in one of those cup cages?
Maybe I'll put that at the end of the show.
I love seeing wieners in those little cages. I
It's
love
crazy.
it. Have y'all seen photos of that?
No, but I had a friend
I have an idea of it.
I had a friend who did it with her partner for a very long time.
It's I don't think it's hard to
Does it look like a bird
understand
cage?
how
It looks like
little their wieners are when they're not hard.
It looks like a Powerball cage. You know, like when the Powerball
Yes.
comes down and they read it? That's kind of what it looks like.
It kind of looks like if you put your pussy in a cage and then you vacuumed outside of the pussy to get it all like swollen and almost like trying to escape.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Classic.
Bro, I'm gonna pull can I show a photo? Is anyone gonna get mad at me?
No, I'm not mad.
Do I have permission?
Yes, show us Locktober.
Hey, what should I look up? Cock and
Cuck cage?
Cuck cage?
Chastity belt?
Chastity?
Cage? Cock and a cock cage. That's what I'm looking up. Cock cage porn videos. Well, I don't know if I should do a video with my friends.
No video right now.
I could do a GIF.
Why are they all blurred? Grow up. Turn safe search off.
No!
Yuck!
No!
Yuck!
Maybe we just watch you react to them.
Fucking hell.
Just show it to us so we can move on.
Yeah, I would just show us one and let us go.
Yo!
No!
Yes, Tien. Yes.
Let me see.
They
Let me see.
do
Let me
look
see.
like the Powerball thing.
Yeah, it doesn't look just like the
It does.
You guys don't think
It's
it
kinda
looks like if
crazy.
you stuck your pussy in a vacuum for
Your what?
pussy in a vacuum for a really long period of time?
I mean,
I think it looks more like the Powerball. I gotta be
it looks-
honest.
I think it looks more
My God, why are they doing things like this? It
to
looks
me-
bad enough the way that it is.
I know.
Okay.
I knew that this podcast would eventually evolve into you three looking at pictures of penises and saying, yuck. We've reached the purest form of Jocular.
Yucky!